Welcome to Reflection Thursday. Matthew's account of the Last Supper is brief. According to Matthew 26, verse 17, the meal takes place on the first day of 7 days of the unleavened bread feast, which was associated with the Passover. The Passover meal consisted of a roasted young lamb or goat, served with bitter herbs and unleavened bread. Though the original Passover instructions of Exodus 12 say nothing of a beverage, the Passover meal of our text included wine or juice of grapes. During the meal, Jesus takes some of the bread from the table, pronounces a blessing over it, and hands it to the disciples with the expectation each of them would take a piece of it. Jesus tells them to eat it and to consider this bread his body. Now, bread in the ancient world was a carbohydrate staple. It provided life and energy. And so Jesus then takes the cup filled with wine or the juice of grapes, says a prayer over it, and passes it around, again expecting each disciple to take a sip. He states that the contents in the cup is his blood, that is the blood seal of the covenant, in which many will receive forgiveness of sins. Now, as they share the cup, Jesus anticipates his being delivered to death. He states that he'll not drink from this cup again until the kingdom is fully established. Then, after all of this, the group breaks out into a hymn, and then they leave this upper room, headed for the Mount of Olives and the Garden of Gethsemane. Interestingly, Matthew records no directive to repeat the bread and cup meal, let alone the frequency in which they should be taken by the followers of Jesus. Now, to what degree the disciples understood the symbolism of the bread and cup, well, we really don't know. However, within a few days and weeks, this simple ceremony takes on great significance, symbolizing the life-giving teachings, example, and death of Jesus. One of the differences between Christianity and other religions is that the foundation of following Jesus is not our theology or our obedience. The acts of God and Jesus are the foundation. Our theology and obedience are mere acknowledgments of what Jesus has accomplished. Therefore, Christians should be as humble as the bread and cup are for a memorial. Now, I think it's unfortunate that subsequent generations of Christians have attempted to elevate the participants or the officiators of the supper. Just as the Passover celebrated God's mighty act of deliverance from the Egyptian slavery, the Lord's Supper celebrates God's mighty act against our archenemy, Satan. The simplicity of the bread and juice allows for its use at any location and time. And it's such a simple ceremony that can bind believers together. It communicates the life and mission of Jesus without words. Now, may you and I remember, whenever and wherever we eat the bread and drink the juice, that Jesus has served us by surrendering his life for our ransom. Until next time, God bless.